Paguristes grayi, Benedict, 1901, family Diogenidae. This medium to large crab was found in several locations around Curaçao. It was not abundant in any locality. It was not found on large reef formations, but did occur on or near fronds of elkhorn coral. The most consistent sources of Paguristes grayi were the entrance to Paguridae and the west side of the entrance of Sponce Water. Smaller individuals were frequently found outside octopus layers. This could be for feeding purposes or the obtaining of octopus-emptied shells, or both. The specimens collected in the entrance to Paguridae averaged about 20 millimeters in cephalothorax length. The crabs collected in 2 to 6 meters of water at Sponce Water were larger, averaging about 30 millimeters in cephalothorax length, with some individuals being up to 60 millimeters cephalothorax length. The most consistent features of its environment seem to be a sandy rocky bottom in open water and elkhorn coral formations. It was often found high on the fronds of colonies of this organism. Of the crabs studied, Paguristes grayi was definitely the slowest moving. Not only did it walk and climb about slowly, but its aggressive displays were also carried out very slowly. In its walking movements, it resembles Clibonarius tricolor more than Paguristes cadenati. It does not move very much at any time, and a group in an aquarium may show no active social behavior for many minutes or even hours. During the day or at night, a good percentage of the animals in any population, in the laboratory or field, are pulled back into their shells. Social interactions do occur, but at a low rate. I have not knowingly seen any phase of the sexual behavior of grayi, and only on a few occasions have I seen definite shell-fighting behavior. The crabs do show aggressive behavior, and interactions take place in a manner similar to that of other species. These interactions often appear as if the animals were being viewed in slow motion. The ambulatory raise in Paguristes grayi is a movement which brings the limb rigidly to a position about 10 degrees below the horizontal. Both single and double raises were executed by interacting crabs. As with the other aggressive behavior patterns, incomplete behaviors and variability in the execution of these aggressive displays appeared more frequently in grayi than the other species studied. Sometimes the motion up and down of an ambulatory was complicated by an oval motion at the top, the limb being brought down and slightly forward, then raised back and up after moving to a position about halfway down. Perhaps this was just a second raise, without bringing the limb down completely. A set of movements similar to the cheliped presentation of Clibonarius cubensis was seen on a few occasions. A cheliped extension was seen much more frequently and definitely. Although variable in speed and extent of movement, interacting animals often did raise one or both chelipeds through an arc of about 85 degrees to a position about 10 degrees below the horizontal. Often the dactyl of the cheliped was partially open as it was extended. The shell-fighting behavior of Paguristes grayi appears to fit the pattern for Diogenid crabs. After turning the other crab on its back and attaining an opposed position, the attacker goes through positioning behavior in which its body moves back and forth over the defender's aperture in a horizontal figure 8. Wrapping behavior may follow. The rate of wrapping was estimated at 1.5 seconds per cycle or longer. The attacker's shell is moved about half the length of the cephalothorax in raps of the greatest movement. Whereas shell fights in other species last a number of minutes, the interactions of grayi last for hours or even days. Extended periods of inactivity occur between series of raps. One pair was observed frequently for over 48 hours, during which time the attacker carried out 3 series of rapping motions. As in Paguristes cadenati, in the few successful fights observed to completion, the winning crab was holding the chelipeds of the loser with his own and appeared to be pulling the loser out. Occasionally, the attacker rotated the defending crab back and forth around an axis perpendicular to and through the aperture of the defending crab. The DL variation in activity, as measured in the laboratory, is shown in Figure 20. As in Paguristes cadenati, the locomotor activity shows an anti-crepuscular pattern. Feeding appears to be confined more completely to the diurnal hours. Diel variation in activity, Figure 20. Diel variation in activities of Paguristes grayi. Feeding diurnal, locomotor activity anti-crepuscular.